Okay, so a couple of things that I want to do. A few people ask questions. I want to address those questions right quick. Sarah was asking about the wall inside the house. We're going to go ahead and adjust that and fix that now. You see how it doesn't seem like we should have a foundation wall necessarily that goes all the way through our house. Now, although we do need that foundation wall going through there, the wall inside the garage is going to be a different type. It's not going to be brick just like this, right? And the way I could see that easily is to use a nice little tool called our section box. So in our properties browser, I'm going to click on section box, and you see I have this large box here. If I click on that and make that live and it cuts through my house, you see how that portion there is what? It's brick. I wouldn't have brick inside my house like that with vinyl siding. That doesn't make sense. So we could fix that by going to level one. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to our modify tab. And right here, there's a command called SL, split element. I could type in SL on my keyboard. I'm going to click that. And I'm going to split my wall right about here. Okay? Now that that wall is split, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say trim extend to corner this wall and that wall. Now this wall is just sitting out there and I want to make it a different type, but you see, if I come in here and I say change this to just a generic 8-inch, right? I don't want to drag that wall just back to touch there. I could, but I don't want to do that. See how it joins with that wall? So I'm going to do something. I'm going to undo. I'm going to click on this and see where that little dot is where it says drag wall in. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select something that says disallow join. This is going to prevent this generic wall from joining with the other one. And you'll always know this is active when you click on this, because now when I click on the wall, look at that little thing there. If I click on that, it will allow the join. I don't want it to allow it. So now I can drag this. It touches the end of the wall and that's where it stops. That's a very helpful thing for you to know when you're using multiple wall types within a dwelling, okay? And you don't want them to necessarily join. So now when I go to my 3D view, notice what do I have? I have a normal wall in here that we'll be able to just put doors in like at the back of a garage. So with that done, I'm going to come in here and click on my section box. And now I want to go about the business of coming into this wall and perhaps putting a little brick ledge at the top of it. The way we typically will do that, besides detailing in the view, is to use something called a sweep. Now, what is a sweep? For those of you who aren't aware of sweeps, what if I went to architecture and went to roof and I said that I want to put some gutter on my house, right? If I click on that, notice I've got an option to come over here and to click on my roof here, 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 here. Now, what I have on my house are these gutters. These gutters, if I click on them, they are sweeps. A sweep is simply a profile, a 2D profile that is swept along an edge. You can put sweeps on floors, you can put them on roofs, you can put them on roads. You can use sweeps for just about anything. So what we're going to try and do is put a sweep on our wall. Now, notice something though. Notice that if I click on this wall here and I go to edit type, I do not have under the edit an opportunity to add a sweep. However, notice if I go to my level one and I draw that base wall, right? Remember that base wall is just called brick bottom? And I come out here and I say draw a brick bottom wall. Let me go back and grab it again. That brick bottom is a portion of my stacked wall. So I'm going to go back in here, right? And I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say edit type, right? That's the basic brick bottom wall. When I go into edit, notice that I'll have some options, okay, that I didn't have before, right? And I'm going to pause the video so we can talk about something. So what we discussed is that when I come in to edit this wall and I go into the structure of it and I say that I want to add a sweep, I have to first add a sweep. I want to make sure that the category of that sweep is bricks, just like my other. And then when it says load a profile, if I click on that, notice I am nowhere near a profile right now. Those are doors. So I have to go up a few directories and I have to go down to a folder called profiles. And under profiles, where would I select what I need? There's a lot of categories here and none of them talk about sweeps for a wall. I'm going to pause the video. We're going to talk about something. Let's go ahead. All right. So what we discovered when we loaded the profile, we had to go up two directories to the base US Imperial. We go down to the profile directory and under wall profile, there's a few of them. There's a what? There's a sill precast. We don't want that. How about a wall sweep brick course right there? Okay. I'll double click that. Now I have it and I hit OK. And now look where that thing is sitting. It's sitting at the base of my wall. I'm going to pause the video again so we can talk about something. Okay, people, so what we learned when we went in here is when we edit type, we go to edit, we go to sweeps, we add a sweep, right? We know we need to get it up 4 feet off the ground. We also need to pick a material category, which we want to be the same, which is brick. We know that we need to load a profile, which we know is the what? The wall brick course. And what we're also going to do is move that offset, because if we apply this and we look at it, we see it's kind of out here floating, as Mr. Gargak said, right? So what we're going to do is go back in here and change this offset to minus 3 inches, right? Apply, okay, okay. And now we have a nice little brick ledge on here that's going all around our building, right? Not a bad little option. Now, here's a disclaimer, people. Depending on the type of building, we will rarely take brick up that far, okay? So in not taking brick up that far, we would probably take it down to 3 feet, right? How do we fix that? That's easy enough. We know now. Wait a minute. If I hit edit type and I go in here, look, I can't edit it. That's because that's the stacked wall. You always have to edit in the original wall that makes up part of that stacked wall. Then you'll get the option. You go to edit, you go to sweeps, you change this from 4 to 3, and hopefully it looks a little more normal now when it's hitting that door. Okay? We'd also change what? We can also go in here and say we want the variableness of that wall to go from 4 to 3. Right? And now it looks a lot more normal. I'll go ahead and stop the video, and that'll be our last one for today.